It has been a week since we last checked in on the progress of the Luna price chart. So today we're going to check back in on Luna, perform some price analysis and make some predictions on where we can expect to see the price of Luna go in the near future. Let's get into it. How's it going, guys? Ryan here and welcome back to another crypto video. We're once again taking a look at the Terra blockchain's native coin Luna and performing some technical analysis using various indicators including moving averages, the relative strength index and the MACD. But before we get into that, guys, please remember to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy today's video, and of course if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing and wealth management. I'd also love to know your thoughts on the Terra blockchain as well as Luna down in the comments section below. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's analysis and get cracking. Welcome into the Luna price chart, guys. If you're looking to buy Luna or any other cryptocurrencies or want some free Bitcoin, there's links down in the description of today's video. But let's take a look at Luna itself. And as you can see, we've had a healthy pullback occur. We're now sitting at roughly $30 and 50 cents. So that is really, really good. Obviously, as we can see, we had a very, very big run and it was getting to a point where it was overcooked. The last time we took a look at Luna, we were sitting right here on day 30 of August of 2021. Now you can see in my last video, I mentioned that, hey, I think it's time to see a bit of consolidation occur. We might need a bit of a pullback due to the fact that we had some real intense price action. It looks like that's exactly what's occurred. What we have seen is the price of Luna has pulled back to its key support points, just hovering around about that point right now, which is about $30.60 odd cents. So I'm going to put in a line to show that. We're sitting there right now. Now the key is basically we need to make sure that Luna holds this point in order to ensure that the price actually holds up. You know what? I'm going to draw this a bit lower, maybe right about there. That's probably about accurate. If this 30 mark or $30.60 mark does not hold up, then we will be dropping to the next point of support. Now, obviously we can't go based off this old data, so we're going to have to use the new data because it's basically a lot more relevant and we haven't seen these price points before. I'd be suggesting we'd be looking at potentially $28.70 briefly, and then if that fails, we might be looking down here, and that is at roughly $26.20. So that's, I'd suggest, worst case scenario for Luna if we do see that this support point, which we're currently sitting at, is broken and we start trundling down towards the next. Now, best case scenario, we have established a brand new trend. And where's this brand new trend, you ask? Well, the key to establishing trends is finding 3 key points on a chart. So I've got 1, 2, and I've actually got number 3, which is sitting exactly on the same point as we are. I'll just drag this out a bit more so you can get an idea of exactly where we're at. But as you can see, we are sitting on what appears to be an upwards channel at this point in time. Now, from that, you can see that is exactly where we've touched from a price action perspective today and where we have touched previously. So taking that into consideration and pending we do continue to move upwards, then let's just remove this point here and remove this point here as well. So best case scenario, we start moving in an upwards manner and we start trading in this sort of a channel. Maybe in this type of a manner. You can see that there's been plenty of price action within this channel, but also a lot of spikes without. So you know what? Maybe that isn't accurate. Let's start moving it up. Can we actually place this elsewhere? There is no really good point to get the price action. Probably about there is as near as you're going to get. this would be our upwards trading channel. Now, removing that support line, you can see what is occurring. Basically, we need confirmation that this is the case by seeing this candle hold this point of support at roughly $30.25 US, and then the next few days start tracking back upwards again. Now, where we might see some resistance is where we previously had a few highs, sitting right about here at $35.10. Now, if that is the case, then basically what we'll see is this type of a pattern as we go, moving, tightening, and we'll, I suppose, tend to coil a bit more. But in the longer term, what we should see is potentially that point there breaking, and we start to move, upwards in that sort of a manner. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of consolidation below the $35 mark within, the next few days, or even potentially for another week. It's got enough room to be able to consolidate in that manner. This is further backed up by the fact that we can see the volume is also decreasing as well. So the price action is becoming tighter, and the volume is also decreasing, both from a buy and sell perspective. That means we're coiling for another run. And when we start taking a look at other indicators, such as the RSI, you can see that this is the case. So the RSI is basically showing us, are we overbought? Are we underbought? Are we just right? You can see our consolidation has brought us from this overbought range that we've been in for quite some time, now down to a value of 56.40. So we're comfortably now sitting at a point where we are not going to be overbought. So great news. That means we can coil and potentially break out again when we're looking at this indicator. Now, let's just remove this one here, and let's also take a look at the MACD. I'm on the wrong chart. There we go. MACD, moving average convergence divergence. You can see we had our cross up here when basically we started to move downwards. So it was the day after we looked at it previously, looked at Luna previously, and we've started moving downwards. We've had a bit of red down here, and we still, I suppose, haven't defined where that peak is. It looked like it was going to be on the 4th, but then we started trundling upwards once again. 7th of September, this could be our peak, given the fact that we have hit this point now, which could act as a new trend line moving upwards. So what I'd expect to see is these little candles here start to decrease, and we start to move back in an upwards direction. We diverge. Now we want to see the convergence of the shorter term moving average cross above that longer term moving average down the bottom here. This would be, from a technical point of view, if this candle holds up, a fantastic entry point theoretically based on what we are seeing. Now finally, I want to bring in, of course, as well, our longer term moving averages. Now we got our short term 20-day moving average, so I'll chuck that one in first right here. Then we have our medium term 50-day moving average. I'll chuck that in, but I'll make it in red, and you can see that one coming up. And then we got our longer term 200-day. Now the 200-day is not going to be too interesting. That's sitting down here, as you can see, at 13.58. Our 50-day moving average is sitting at 20.74, and currently we are sitting basically smack bang on our short-term 20-day moving average. So why is this important? Well, basically what we are seeing is the fact that we have a very intense point that's occurring here. If you recall, I had drawn previously that point of support, which we're sort of sitting on right now. Not only that, we're sitting on an uptrend point of support, we're also using this 20-day moving average as support as well. So right now, this is a very, very critical point, and is going to determine the direction in which we go over the next few weeks. If we see this support point hold up, we will continue to move in an upwards manner, whether it consolidates here briefly, or whether we do break through that key point of resistance there and start moving towards the top end of our trading channel. That is to be seen, but today is really that critical day where we're going to determine, okay, what direction are we moving in the near future. Now, what do we have for us? We had our, support points, 2 within here, but we got that 50-day moving average as well, starting to move in the right direction, indicating that if this 20-day moving average does break and the price falls significantly below that point, we have the 50-day moving average coming up as the next support point, along with our key lines of horizontal resistance as well. But price prediction for today's video, I've got 2. Firstly, my bullish price prediction is we're going to go for this $35 mark once again. Now, if I want to be a bit more conservative, I'd suggest that, we might trundle upwards and, I suppose hang around here for the time being in this range. I don't think that's going to be the case, so that's not one of my predictions. So the bullish one, $35. My bearish prediction, we're going to break these 3 key points of support and move down towards our moving average down here, which is currently sitting at $20.73. That is, I suppose, worst case scenario in my opinion right now. It all rests on this one little candle today holding up or not. As you can see by today's chart, we are at an extremely critical point for Luna coin. It's either going up or it's going down. Today's candle is really going to determine the short-term future for this coin. I'd love to know your thoughts on what way it's going down in the comments section below, and your general thoughts on Luna as well. If you did enjoy today's analysis, remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of it, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. We cover crypto, stocks, investing, and wealth management. But I'll leave it there, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.